President Trump is making some serious allegations against the Obama administration's national security advisor. The president says Susan Rice broke the law. Now, Rice has denied any wrongdoing by her or her former boss amid claims that she used secret intel to learn the identities of Trump associates caught up in electronic surveillance of foreigners. Here with us now is Larry Klayman, founder of Judicial Watch and Freedom Watch. Larry, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Larry, I want to start off with the news that Steve Bannon, the chief strategist, has been removed from the National Security Council's principal committee. What do you make of that?
I don't really make much of it. I mean, they're doing some pruning in the White House. They're fine-tuning what it is they do. Obviously, the president has great confidence in Steve Bannon, and he should, in my opinion. He's got him all the way to the presidency, and he's somebody that shares his political views. I don't see that there's really any great significance to this.
Larry, former National Security Advisor Susan Rice, she has been exposed for unmasking the people that were surveilled. What is your response?
Well, my response is that it's part of a conspiracy. You know, it's not just conspiracy theorists, but a conspiracy is more than one person taking an action, in this case, to commit a crime. It's clear that Susan Rice was working with others in the Trump White House, like Ben Rhodes, probably the president himself and others, to leak information with regard to General Mike Flynn. That clearly is a crime. And the fact that they're working together in concert to do it would suggest that the president was absolutely correct. And there's a report today on another network, I won't say what that is, but intelligence officials are talking. They're talking to Fox News, for instance, and they're telling them that they don't consider this to be appropriate. This is a bombshell. This is perhaps the biggest scandal in American history, and I think it's ironic and unfortunate that the former President Obama is off in Polynesia right now. It's clear he really does not want to be seen or to be involved in what's going on, but I think it will rest at his doorstep in the end, and I trust that the intelligence committees will have him testify, or testify in some capacity in another case. And I have lawsuits pending against him as well at Freedom Watch. You can see that at freedomwatchusa.org.
Larry, the biggest scandal in American history, those are some pretty big words. Are you saying that you think President Obama purposefully asked for the Trump campaign people to be surveilled?
I do believe that either he knew or he asked. He had to. This is the President of the United States. The buck stops on his desk, as former President Truman used to have a sign on that desk in the Oval Office. He had to know. And I wrote a column today, people can read it, at freedomwatchusa.org about how all the evidence leads back to Obama. They hate him. The Obama people hate Trump.
Right.
The leftist media hates Trump.
But
they
Larry,
have lost control of themselves, and they're doing things that are unimaginable in U.S. history. I do believe that to be the case.
Larry, I don't disagree with you, not going to argue with you on the hate issue. But nonetheless, there is a lot of smoke. There are many signs that there could be some kind of a link between the Trump administration and the Russians. What do you think? There's nothing behind it all?
That's another issue. Let the facts come out on that. But whether there's a link or not with regard to the Trump administration, and we haven't seen anything yet, let the Democrats or whoever come forward with that. They're conducting an investigation. But the fact is, there has been information come out here about Susan Rice. This was known for several weeks. Fox News broke it recently, but I heard it from many different sources that she's involved. Now, look, she's the national security person inside the White House, inside the Obama administration. This is someone who is not part of the intelligence agencies. She had no business unmasking this information. And before Obama took office, they could only be unmasked if there was probable cause that a crime was being committed or that there was communication with terrorists or something to that effect. Obama
Larry,
lowered that threshold to allow this to happen.
So, Larry, if this is indeed a crime, what kind of legal action should be taken against Susan Rice? What should she be charged with?
She should be indicted. But there should be a grand jury impaneled right now. She should be hauled in front of the grand jury. She should be asked to testify. She'll probably take the Fifth Amendment. You know, Washington is funny, is that people like Susan Rice are the ones that usually wind up getting indicted, convicted, and thrown in prison. We had an example years ago with George W. Bush, who also did illegal warrantless wiretaps. I had a case against him as well. We're nonpartisan. I call it as I see it. But it was Scooter Libby who got involved in this case involving Valerie Plame. and the leaking of information about a CIA officer who wound up going to jail. The higher-ups usually skate in Washington. Susan Rice is in big trouble. She will probably go to jail. In fact, I think higher-ups should as well, but unfortunately they get covered up by the establishment in Washington.
Larry Klayman, we're going to have you back to discuss all of those lawsuits and all the legal action that you're taking. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, though. All right.